So today's webinar is going to cover the basis of nutrition in regards to fat loss in the simplest way possible. Okay, so first of all, nutrition. There's three types of foods. It's either going to be protein, carbs, or fats. Every type of food you eat will be one of these three macronutrients. Okay, so protein, essential for muscle growth, hair, enzymes, organs, like everything we're made of, we need protein, right? So protein, don't just think about muscle building. Your whole body needs it and you can't build anything without it. Carbs is your energy fuel, all right? So, obviously people do low carb diets, but carbs are fuel. You do not need to be afraid of carbs. And if you want better energy, better performance, you probably need carbohydrates. Okay, the last one, fats are important. More about hormone production, brain function, metabolic health, still like a long lasting store of energy and like overall health balance. Fats are important. Okay, so carbs, energy, protein, building blocks, fats, hormone health, and a backup reserve of energy. Nice and simple. So protein, some good sort of sources. These like low calorie, high protein sources, chicken breast, turkey mince, fish. Obviously salmon will have a little bit more because it's got some fats in it. Eggs, Greek yogurt, lean beef, protein powder, cottage cheese. Sauces will be more careful of, so like really fatty sauces and meat. Full fat cheese, people say cheese is protein. It technically is, but it has a lot of calories in it. And processed meats like sausages, bacon's okay-ish, but if it's got lots of fat in it, obviously it's not a lean source. Another thing I'd add is like a lot of people have nuts as protein. Even though nuts contain protein, they're very high in fat, so you wouldn't call that a good source of protein. So what we want to do, you want to focus on more of these sort of sources. Okay? Carbohydrates, not the enemy, it's just a fuel source. So slow releasing carbs, honestly going to give you more sustainable energy. You're not going to get a sugar spike, you're not going to get crash, you're not going to crave them more the next day. So next hour, sorry. So these are the sort of carbs we would recommend. Oats, potatoes, rice, pasta, fruits, they are technically quick releasing, but like it's a better type of quick releasing. They're not super dense. Vegetables, quinoa, normal potatoes. So quick releasing ones: sweets, chocolate, cereal, white bread, pasta, crisp, cakes, bakery stuff, fizzy drinks, like all this sort of junk food. This is the stuff you want to base your diet on, like your regular meals. If you want a source of protein, carb, fats, you want to try and have like one of these sources of carbs. That makes sense. And this here, obviously, these are they're not going to fill you up. They're really easy to overeat. And also, when you eat sugary carbs, you get a blood sugar spike, you then get crash, and then you're going to crave more carbs later. All right. So just with this stuff, try not to have it in the morning. You'll be craving carbs all day. So I'd recommend it's actually better to have a treat in the evening. And also, the only time I would deliberately give this to a client, if you had like a run at 10 o'clock and it was like 9:30, if you're working out at 10, maybe we put some quick releasing carbs before your workout, because it gives you quick energy. All right, so before you do a gym workout, you may not have 200 grams of sweet potatoes because that's going to fill up digestion, all this sort of things. But you could have 100 calories of sweets if you really want to. If you guys fat loss might not be best, but that's just quick energy. Your meal should be based on here. Fats, obviously essential for your hormones. You need fats to be healthy. Females need at least minimum 30 grams of good fats per day. Men ideally 50 grams of good fats. All right, this is for your healthy hormones. So some good sources of fats: avocados, olive oil, nuts, salmon, oily fish, eggs, seeds, small amount of chocolate have fats in it, right? As long as it's dark chocolate. Obviously be mindful of like deep fried foods, butter, creams, ice creams, cheese. Once again, it's very excessive, like sauce and all that. Even though they're fats, they're not going to be good fats for your hormones. So these fats, I would just call them calories. They're not giving you a lot of the hormone benefits or the health benefits. Right? And once again, you have to be mindful of fat intake, because 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories, while a gram of protein or carbs equals 4. So obviously, like fats are twice as calorie dense as protein and carbs. Okay, laws of weight loss, really simple. Calories in versus calories out. If you eat more than you burn, you're going to gain weight. If you eat less than you burn, you're going to lose weight. Eat roughly the same, it's going to be maintenance. I'm not going to talk about muscle growth here, but for weight loss, it's calories in versus calories out. Don't need to worry about protein target, fat target, or carb target. Really, it is all about calories. Keep your diet really simple. Once you master calories, then you talk about macronutrients. Okay, next one, BMR, basal metabolic rate. So we call this your metabolism. You can go into Google, work out what your BMR is, but here's some basic numbers really. So we've got women times your body weight in 22 kilograms, men times your body weight in 24. This will roughly give you a calorie target. So on average, say a 70 kilogram woman, she would need about 1,540 calories per day just to exist. All right, this isn't including movement or exercise. This is her basal metabolic rate. Obviously, will give you more or less calories based on your exercise. I mean, also, if you want to diet more aggressively, you might, instead of saying 22, you might knock it down to 20. That makes sense. So here we go. So this is all talking about your movement. So we spoke about that lady beforehand, 1540. If she's not very active, we times her activity by 1.2. If she's lightly active, 1.4. Very active, 1.6, sort of thing. And then obviously, depending on how hard you want a deficit, you'll get your number, and then you subtract the amount. So 500 calories equals that pound per week weight loss mark. You can go anywhere from half a pound to 1.5 pounds. Anything more than 2 pounds per week can potentially lose muscle mass unless you are a much larger person. But on average, start off a 500 calorie deficit, then figure out if that's too aggressive or not aggressive enough. From working with hundreds of people, I would always say, and this is just my opinion, I would go faster fat loss at start, because no one quits when a diet's going well, no one quits when we get results. The best way to stay motivated is to see changes. So personally, like, go aggressive at the start, see changes, that's super motivating. How to shape your plate. So obviously I like doing calorie tracking with my clients. We do calorie tracking, some people don't. So a simple rule to go by if you don't want to track your calories, prioritize protein. So basically get a palm of protein with each meal. You know, protein also keeps you fuller for longer, slower digestion, stuff like that. So a palm of protein, high volume. So obviously you want lots of veg. Lots of veg is really simple. You know, a big bowl of veg could be 100 calories or 50 calories here. Handful of nuts is 300 calories, sort of thing. Like, you know, 5 almonds is 50 calories easily, sort of thing. I mean, obviously, final tip as well. If you do struggle portion sizes, next time you go to Tesco's or Sainsbury's, try to buy a smaller plate, sort of thing. It obviously just proportionally makes your brain think you're eating more. Okay, so always prioritize protein, have lots of veg, be careful of nuts and like oils and stuff like that because it's very calorie dense. Okay, so here's just some habits to stop hunger taking over. Habit number 1, don't skip meals. So nothing wrong with pushing meals back. So instead of having breakfast at 7, like I have mine at 10 when I get back from the gym, but you would never skip a meal, because when people skip a meal, they either snack throughout the day afterwards because they're hungry, or they eat twice the size lunch afterwards. If you skip breakfast but you have double size lunch, what's the point? Or they resist hunger all day, their willpower gets really low, and they binge in the evening. All right. So in general, just try not to skip meals. Nothing wrong with having a later breakfast or a later lunch if you're not hungry, but just don't skip the meal. Third one, drink lots of water. 2 to 3 litres per day. We ask our clients to try to get closer to. That's realistic. We're very realistic people. Obviously, first sign of hunger is dehydration. A lot of time when we think we're hungry, we're just thirsty. So just either drink a meal before you're hungry, or just try to stay regularly hydrated, sort of thing. Once again, we recommend our clients try to have a pint of water in the morning when they wake up. That's half a litre basically as soon as they wake up. Slow down your eating. So it takes roughly 20-30 minutes for your gut to send signals to the brain saying you're full. So you can be starving hungry. I've been guilty of this myself. Starving hungry, eat a meal, you still feel hungry afterwards. But if you just wait 20 minutes, you'll be full. So just slow down your eating, be more mindful. And in general as well, when you are hungry, this goes to snacking, try to wait 20 minutes, just in case it's a craving, so you give your body a bit of time to work through it. Then finally, plan your snacks. So everyone knows about the 3 p.m. slump. Get home from work, pick your kids up to school, stuff like that. Lots of reasons for the 3 p.m. slump. We won't go into today, but just make sure you plan something, because you can plan a 250 calorie snack, which is within your daily calories, and be fine. Or if it's not planned, 1, you could binge and just massacre your calories. Or 2, you pick something really sugary for simple energy, but then you get the slump an hour and a half later, and you're more likely to have an even bigger dinner. All right, so just make sure, plan your snacks, really simple one. I did a video about this yesterday. We said to our clients, you cannot outtrain a poor diet. It's as simple as that. You know, an hour walk will burn 300 to 400 calories easily, an hour run 500-600 sort of thing. You know, you run for an hour, bust your ass and burn 600 calories, and you're busting your ass. You could eat, say, there's not even Domino's pizza. You could eat 2 Kit Kat Chunkies in 2 minutes and undo that whole run, couldn't you? Yeah, so you cannot outtrain a bad diet. I cannot say this enough to you. A latte is 150 calories. you know, you've got to walk half an hour, 40 minutes to burn off a latte, sort of thing. All right. So exercise is a tool to increase weight loss. Cardio is a tool to increase weight loss, but nutrition is the number one thing weight loss. And until you have a right diet, you will not lose weight. All right. And also look at exercise as a way to get yourself fitter, stronger, build muscle, and create a better look. But nutrition is the number one part of fat loss. Okay, so here's a couple common mistakes to avoid. So number one, cutting calories too low. Obviously, starving yourself is not a flex. People do Ozempic diets. Like, obviously, if you're unhappy with your body, I generally believe, you know, you have to do what makes you happy. But if you crash diet, as soon as you eat normal again, you will rebound. You like crash dieting, you will lose more muscle because you're starving yourself. Your BMR, your metabolism will drop. As soon as you go back to what you normally ate, you'll gain more weight and more. Like, crash dieting is never the solution. The only time you could do it, if you go on holiday in 3 days' time, for 3 days beforehand, go really strict because you're back on holiday. But in general, cutting calories too low, when you bring them low, you can't bring them back up. So when you come to dieting, you want to try to keep your calories as high as you can for as long as you can, because you've got a lot more lean weight to play with. Next one, demonizing food groups. Pretty simple. Food is not good, food is not bad, food is just food. Don't demonize it. If I tell you don't have ice cream, first of all, one thing you want or one thing you think about is ice cream. So don't demonize foods. It's not a healthy relationship. And if you can only lose weight not eating carbs or not eating bread, and you restrict it, great, you lose the weight. What happens when you start eating again? You will gain weight back. So you have to learn how to lose weight, eating the foods you love, not by avoiding them. And last thing, trying to be perfect just doesn't work, sort of thing. Yeah, so try and be perfect, chasing an unachievable standard inevitably leads to giving up and failing. We diet people, if you know how I coach, we diet people harder 5 days and we relax them for 2 days. That's what we've always done. You don't feel like you're dieting, you get a treat, you're not restricting. Like it, I feel like it works for most normal people. Being consistently good is better than occasionally perfect. All right, so that's just my bit of advice. And then follow up here really. Consistency will always outperform short-term perfection. So you've heard the 80-20 rule: 80% good food, 20% like bad food. That's what you should either do. So each day, 8% good, 20% bad. And also we can do like the 5 healthy days, 2 less healthy days. But a week of consistent good will always get you much better results. All right, and you're not going to feel like you're failing when you've just got to be good, not perfect. Quite simple. Build a sustainable plan around your actual life. So everyone's different. I had a client, Paula. She was willing to change a lot of things. We want to do 3 workouts per week, but she always wanted McDonald's Friday nights. So we put with McDonald's in her Friday plan. Like, yeah. So nutrition really doesn't have to be complicated. There's no right way for any single person. The main thing is you have to be in a calorie deficit. That's number one. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just have to be in calorie deficit. You want to get enough protein because it protects your muscle mass. Get at least 30 grams of fats because it's good for your health. Carbs, have whatever you want, sort of thing. All right, so just don't listen to other people. Build a plan what's around your lifestyle, and I promise you, as long as you get the right amount of calories, enough protein, enough fat, stay healthy. All the rest, doesn't matter how many meals you have, 5 meals a day, 3 meals a day, doesn't matter if you eat 10 o'clock at night, all this stuff doesn't matter. It's calories, protein, and then 30 grams of fats if you're a lady, 50 if you're a man, all right? So super quick nutrition webinar, 10 minutes-ish. Hopefully this helped. And remember, if you need any more help on nutrition, weight loss, toning, just drop me a message.